Do you know how many years I have gone without watching Love Island? All of them. All of the years I've avoided it like the plague because I knew it wasn't for me. I know what type of person it is for other British people that I hate. It's not a show for me. And I know that I'm not the target demographic. I'm not the target audience. There's no reason for me to watch it. So I'll avoid it because I know I'll just dislike it. But then one day recently, I was just chatting with one of my mates, yeah, and they were like, Lord Alizee Jesus, the greatest, brightest, bestest of all of us, the funniest person I've ever met. You should really watch Love Island this year because it's so dramatic and yada, yada, yada. You'll like it. And I was like, not about getting paid. I am watching that. So, for today's video, I'm going to recap and give you my opinions on Love Island. This is the first time I've ever watched this show. I sat down and watched as much of it as I could handle. But naturally, before we get into that, today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. ShareSkill is an online learning community with thousands of online classes and members across 150 countries, wow, who come together to find inspiration and take the next step in their creative journey. It is a place to get inspired, to learn new skills, and to put them to work in impactful, meaningful ways. Friendship over with Raid Shadow Legends, Skillshare is now my new best friend. Skillshare's aim is to make creative life possible for everyone all around the world. Have a specific skill that you're trying to learn? Skillshare is the perfect place to start, with classes ranging from photography, illustration, graphic design, freelancing, and even more than that. You can find the classes online at Skillshare. However, it's not all play and no work. You can prioritise self-care and well-being with classes such as the Ultimate Self-Care Playbook, Plants at Home, Writing for Self-Discovery. The benefits of Skillshare are that it's ad-free. You won't get interrupted by annoying adverts like this one right here. Fantastic. There are also new premium classes released every week, so there's always something new to discover. And the entire catalogue is now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. The class that I'll be looking at trying out this month is the Ultimate Self-Care Playbook, Discover and Nurture Your Centered Self. But Alizee, all your time is me time. I know, but I need help in discovering how to self-care. So I feel so self-cared out that there'll be no one else who cares about me as much as I do. And the host of this class is Jonathan Van Ness. So check out all of that and more with Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So check that out. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. Now let's talk about Love Island. I watched the first 5 episodes of Love Island. Here is my review of Love Island. Firstly, why the hell are there so many episodes of Love Island? I didn't realise it was a daily thing. I thought it was a weekly thing. I thought I would just have to watch 8 episodes, I'll be all caught up. But then again, it was suspicious to me how many Metro articles there were every day about Love Island. I should have really cottoned on. But yeah, just why is there so many? Why is it on so often? It reminds me of Big Brother. Remember that show? That was daily too. Can it also get cancelled like Big Brother? So, what I thought about the show, a blow-by-blow account. Firstly, the intro sequence is far too long. It's just full of half-naked people. If I wanted to see that, I'd go to the gym. Also, the narrator is annoying, not very good. Maybe after blowing the budget on that island, they couldn't extend it to get in Rob Beckett or Dave Lamb to narrate. Who knows? The villa itself is like the haven of the live, laugh lovers. It's like ASOS threw up all over it. So I'm watching the show. They introduced the contestants one by one. The first 2 contestants came on and already everyone on the show was an attention seeker.
I am like so buzzed to go in the villa and like potentially meet like my future husband.
There was a girl called Paige who was going on about how she's here to meet her future husband, which, you know, either she's a liar or she's delusional. No one on this island is here to meet their future partner, their future marriage partner. They're here to meet a future Pretty Little Things brand deal. So there's 2 girls and then another girl walks in with her bikini so far up her ass, I thought I was on the wrong website. It just can't be comfortable, you know. This lady was called Tasha and she says that she has high standards when it comes to men. That's why she's appearing on Love Island 2023. Sorry, did I just time travel? Has this show killed my brain cells that badly? I don't like these intro sequences because the producers are obviously prodding these people to just say stupid, ridiculous, arrogant things about themselves. Watching all these glammed up women really made me feel great about my hair that hadn't been washed for 4 days.
My dad was a professional footballer.
So on the show this year, there's this girl called Gemma Owens. I think her father is the famous footballer David Beckham. But you know, no Danny Dyer the daughter, is it? It should actually be illegal that I've never watched the show, and yet I know that Danny Dyer has a daughter called Danny Dyer who went on the show and was with that guy who had crowns. And then they broke up, and then she got pregnant. I shouldn't know any of that. So this year of Love Island is apparently different compared to the last years, because this year the public couples up the girls with the boys instead of the boys stepping forward. I don't know. Ah yes, democracy, the death of society. Plato. After the girls were introduced, it was time for the boys, and I just had a sense that I would hate it infinitely more times than I dislike. I tolerated the girls' ones. First, there was this geezer called Dammy who thinks that all of the girls he works with fancies him. I would get so much done with my life if I had the confidence of a normal bloke. Dammy gets paired up with Amber, and I just thought of this great idea for my own reality TV show, my own version of Love Island, yeah. It's 2023. What year are we in? Who cares? It's the future. We do Love Island. We put them on an island. We couple them up. And then we turn it into Battle Royale. That is TV that you would pay for.
Raisins and grapes, like. How are they the same thing?
Next up was this guy called Liam who had teeth brighter than his future. But this Liam guy, he does this little speech about the types of girls that he's into, yeah? And he says that he doesn't discriminate. Well, he didn't precisely use the word discriminate because I think it's 2 syllables more than he's capable of. But he says, you know, a girl's hair colour isn't going to prevent him from trying it on with her, whether they got blonde hair, blue hair, it doesn't matter. It's a free-for-all for this guy. It was incredible. It was like the next I Have a Dream speech. Really breaking down barriers, all on ITV. The boys come on individually, so Laura Whitmore has to tell each of these boys individually that the public are doing the coupling. So we have to watch it 5 times. So 5 times we have to see the boys like really badly shocked, reacted, acting faces. Not that I think any of these people are acting, just that none of them can emote properly, so it looks like a subdued, dulled down version of real human emotions. It's like these are all androids built to do Instagram sponsorships with charcoal toothpaste and boohoo men. It's like they're all made in a fast fashion factory somewhere. Liam gets coupled with Gemma. What would Gary Lineker think about that?
Booty, bum.
A bloke called Ikenna comes on next, and he believes that he actually snogged 20 girls in one night.
Maybe 15, 20?
Assuming that, let's say you're on a night out and you're out for about 6 hours, yeah? 20 divided by 6 is 3.33. There is no way he snogged 3 1/3 girls per hour in one night. There's no way. Unless it was an orgy. There's another geezer called Andrew who is really concerned about his biological clock ticking away at the ripe old age of 27. His requirements for a woman is a pocket rocket, someone who can keep me on my toes. Why do these people only ever speak in anything but cliches? That is something that I noticed with the show. I didn't even read out all the girls. There's 2 other girls, India and Amber. I think most of the girls are alright, just that Gemma girl. Not that keen on her.
I used to be a romantic. What is it? What's the word? Romantic? What am I?
But Luca is the final boy. He sells fish. I didn't know that it was so lucrative you could afford crowns. But clearly I'm in the wrong industry. Paige and Luca get coupled up, and Paige says that the suspense literally killed her. Yeah, I don't think it did, love. Luca doesn't seem to look happy to be partnered up with Paige, but I don't know really. It's kind of hard to tell. I keep getting blinded by his tic-tac white teeth. Everyone starts getting to know each other. One of the girls doesn't even know where Guernsey is. That's the caliber we're talking about here. Even I know where Guernsey is. And I once thought that Disneyland Paris was somewhere in America because Disneyland was in the name of it. And I'm trying very hard to not be cynical and mean. I'm trying my best, but it just comes so naturally I can't help it. I didn't realise that the couples had to share beds as well. This is a weird social experiment. India and Ikenna, who got paired up together, immediately start kind of squabbling, so I think she should just dump him straight away. This is the level of chat that Ikenna has. Our names both start with I, and we've both been in one relationship. This is like Joey Essex levels of chat, but without any of the humour. Speaking in the couples, they all have this same chat. Like, what's your type? What's your dating history? Blah, blah, blah. That's obviously prodded by the producers. And I don't know. You're just watching people repeat questions. Tasha called Andrew an onion and said she was peeling back the layers. It's like she took the script of Shrek and mangled it. It's like she printed out the script of Shrek and put it in a paper shredder and then read... Luca asked Paige straight away what her favourite sex position is. My favourite sex position is being as far away from you as possible. Gemma talks about her 12 horses. She also has a chat with, I think it's Liam, about football. And he's like, I feel like your ex-boyfriend was a footballer. You seem to know a lot about it. And she's like, no. And you can just tell by her face that she is just gagging for someone to realise her last name, Michael Owen. But honestly, no one cares, babe. The boys get together and start talking about their favourite chat-up lines when they're at the club. Here's one of them. Do you have Insta? My mum always told me to follow my dreams. When I tell you, when he said that I actually clenched. If someone said that to me, I would say, do you have a phone? Because I want to call the police. One of the boys actually asks Gemma her last name, which is Owen. And when she says that, he goes, Gemma Owen. Yeah, that's a good name. It really flows. And her face when he's saying it, she's probably like... That might just be her normal face, but she does not seem amused. She is desperate to be Danny Dyer the third, because Danny Daughter Dyer is the second. At the end of the episode, this new bloke called Davide comes in.
They call me either the Italian stallion or the Greek god. I personally like both of them.
All the girls look instantly happier at his arrival. He's Italian, so he keeps calling himself the Italian stallion. Personally, I'm glad to see that he does have a single defining trait, because it's one more trait than half of these blokes in here have. They play some dare game, which is just an excuse to ride around on each other like horses, not even joking. All the girls want to bone Davide, and Davide gets to choose one of the girls of his choice in 24 hours time. That's episode 1. Episode 2. Liam is worried. He asks the guys if he's wasting his time with Gemma because he can't read her when she is so clearly not into him. These people have to spend, I think, 10 weeks in this villa, which when you think about it, that is a long time to spend in a villa with a bunch of strangers having all your moves documented. That is actually bizarre. It is bizarre that people sign up for this and that we, as a public collective, seem to want it because this is one of the most popular shows on TV. It is kind of bizarre, isn't it? The narrator of this show is so awful. I feel like his script writer wrote jokes for The Big Bang Theory. I hope that it was a script writer and not him. It follows the Big Bang Theory formula of saying the joke and then explaining the joke afterwards so you don't get lost. I'll hold your hand and then you can laugh along. So he says about Luca, and this isn't the first instance of doing it. This is just the only time I write it down because it happens like every time he talks about Luca. It's really annoying. He said about the fish guy, yeah, Paige, he'll tell you your place and your haddock and your cod and your trout. I mean, he would know. The man's a fishmonger. We know he's a fishmonger because it's been referenced a million times only by episode 2. Like, it would have been a better joke if you just said your place, your haddock, your cod, your trout. That's it. You don't need to tack on the little, like, oh, he would know he's a fishmonger. Like, why are you explaining the joke to me? That doesn't make it funny. Like, I get it. Okay, I just realised then why he might do it. Let's assuming the target audience of this show, I'm about to offend millions of people right now, I don't care, is basically the types of people who go into the show in the first place. And when you consider all of the people, the contestants in the show, their collective IQ is probably half of mine. I can see why he might have to explain the joke. They do some sort of airport challenge where they all snog at the end for some reason. I don't know. All these people ever say is stuff like, how are you? Even when they've said it to each other like 10 times that day. It's early days. They hold their cards close to their chest. Obviously. Grafting. I've not had to graft like this. They all, like... Either their vocabulary is that stunted, or they're all just repeating phrases to try to get some sort of merchandise line with Primark. Look, I'm not going to lie, I find these people completely unrelatable, and that's not to say that my values, my way of living my life is better than theirs. It's simply different. I can't relate to these people. I'm sure there's lots of people who can. There's lots of people who can't relate to me. This is fine. We have variations in society for a reason. I just don't think I'd be able to talk to any of them about anything other than, oh, having a heat wave, haven't we? It's like all their talk is small talk. And also, every single one of them sounds exactly the same. Even Davide with his Italian accent. How are you meant to care about anyone in this show individually when they all form this kind of like one big ASOS amorphous blob? I don't believe that you can like be a fan of these people individually. I don't believe it because I'm just not seeing it. Davide picks Gemma as his girl over Liam, so that means Liam is now single in the villa. Episode 3. Gemma speaks to Liam and insists that nothing has changed between them now that she's coupled up with Davide, but this means nothing at all because they have known each other for 2 days. However, Liam says, oh, we've still got much to chat about. Ah, fantastic. I can't wait to overhear illuminating conversations about the tripartite view of knowledge or Hegelian philosophy. Really looking forward to it, Liam. And I just want to say really quickly, that is not me being some sort of snob. I can chat about nonsense and rubbish. I like quite a bit of reality TV. I like crappy media. It's like junk food for the brain. I enjoy that as well as enjoying like all the other bloody philosophical crap. Philosophical crap. Plato spinning his grave. But when I tell you how inane these people's conversations are, they just repeat the same things over and over. Nothing to delve into, no new perspective gleaned from anything. It's quite dull. That's why they have to do all the dramatic like cutaways, and you know, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians is more entertaining than this. I don't mind that show, and that's hardly the pinnacle of good TV or entertainment, is it? I don't mind it, but this is just a bit ugh. By episode 3, which is probably about day 3 in the Big Brother house, they are all still talking about wanting to get to know each other more. If they spent less time talking about wanting to get to know each other and more time actually getting to know each other, we wouldn't have to hear about them wanting to get to know each other. It's not hard. It's not hard doing the small talk to try to get to know someone. Look, I'll demonstrate. Oh, did you see that ludicrous display last night? The problem with Arsenal is they always try and walk it in. Easy, done. Davide and Gemma go on a date and they make lemonade. No, like actual lemonade. So there's a tiny bit of drama. Love it. One of the boys told his couple Tash, and I remembered, Andrew told Tash that this other guy, Luca, the guy with teeth brighter than the sun, doesn't actually fancy her, but Andrew does fancy her, and it's just a plot to keep them from each other because Luca and Tash kind of like each other. But the words he used was, on this island, they all keep talking about their top 3s. Who's your top 3 out of the lads? Who's your top 3 out of the birds? It's like a bit gross, to be honest. It's a bit demeaning. Imagine if you were in the 6th place. You don't want to know that. Andrew said to Tash that, yeah, he doesn't like you that way. You're not even in his top 3, and she's really affronted by that. So Tash confronts Luca, and he's like, "Course you are. Of course you're in my top 3. I can't believe he's done that." And it turns into this whole thing of these boys discussing, like, how dare he not say that another girl was in this guy's top 3. It's gross. But then Andrew, the guy who shits there in the first place, immediately folds and immediately starts being a wet lettuce about her, immediately losing his balls. Getting neutered, getting spayed, just being like, oh my god, no, I didn't say that, and if I did, I didn't mean it that way. Come, like, I thought these shows were meant to be dramatic for a reason. Come on. He also takes it to such an extremity that, like, when people are being this extreme verbally, I can't believe them. I can't find it sincere. So this Andrew guy, he says to Luca, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I apologise. I would never want to And it's like you said one thing, and you've known these people for 3 days. Who gives a shit? But he folds quickly. Chat shit, get banged. They all have these phones which get texts from producers, and every time one of them gets a text, it's usually pertaining to Islanders, go to the fire pit, or one of you is going to do this or that, but they all overreact. It's so annoying. All of these people are the types of people who at school, when the lights went out, like, you know, when a girl, you like, yep, girl, usually, because I didn't want to come across as like, oh no, I'm being like a little bit sexist. No, it was always a girl who would scream when the light went off. A boy never did that in my school. These people are all that girl. I can't say anything more damning than that, can I? So Liam, the only one who's not coupled up, he gets a date with two new girls who are entering the island, Afia and Ekin Su. Ekin Su, I've been seeing all over the metro and people's Instagrams, and I think I like her already. Episode 4. Liam goes on a date with Afia. It's a good thing that these people are all conventionally good looking because the chats are abysmal. The flirting is even worse. Like, I'm pretty sure flirting's not meant to be this cringy in real life. Oh, I don't know. Like, here's the caliber of flirting. What's your favourite sex position? Oh, this one. Oh, is it? Could you show me? Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe I'll leave that one. Oh. IEV. Yeah, you better hire me, because that is some quality acting. I could go on the show if I got more of a tan. So Liam goes on a date with Ekin Su, who is an actress from Essex, but she's been working in Turkey for the past few years. And she can actually speak beyond cliches. And I was thinking about why this is, and I think it is literally because she is an actress. Because she's played in some soap, she says. So I'm assuming that she's had some kind of media training that's come along with that. Because the problem with shows like this is these people have had no media training. So I think the average person doesn't really know how to act for the camera, how to express oneself, because why would you? Why would you know such a thing? But anyway, Ekin Su is a breath of fresh air. But then Liam says, I think you're a little bit of a troublemaker. Yeah, I think you're going to be trouble. And it's so icky. It's like that walking ick guy from TikTok. Like when you wake up in bed next to a walking ick. I find it so icky. Ekin Su plays a serial killer in a soap, so she's already my favourite. All three of them head back to the main section. They meet the others. Ekin Su immediately fancies Davide. Take that, David Beckham. All the boys go to talk about Ekin Su immediately, and they're all like so gross about her. Fully, like some of them being like, oh, I just want to rip her clothes off. It's like, steady on, mate. You've only even said hello to her. Like, calm down. And all of them start calling her naughty and trouble. Like with that kind of accent as well. Naughty, a little bit of trouble. Oh, you're naughty. It is so ick. Every time I watch this show and the boys open their mouth, I'm so grateful that I'm in a relationship, because if that's what it's like out there, not doing that. When Ekin Su meets the girls, she says straight up that she's not there to make friends. She's not there to have like seasonal girl mates. She's there to find her future husband, and I can respect that. Even if I doubt the future husband part, I can respect that she is that straightforward. Ultimately, this is a game show to win money and Instagram brand deals. The girls start being really slaggy about Ekin Su because Ekin Su is confident. However, the next morning she cooks food for the boys to try to win them over and show that she's wifey material, so I take away points from her for that. However, she seems to have some depth to her. I feel like, I always say this as if this is the pinnacle of what anyone would want from life. No one wants to talk to me, no one likes me, but I feel like out of all of them, I could talk to her about more than the weather. I feel like we could chat a little bit about some deeper subjects. Gemma, on the other hand, talks a lot for someone who has nothing to say. Then again, I think she's the youngest. I think she's 19. So I'll be reasonable. But she has grown up with a famous father, so maybe she has like an overinflated sense of self-worth, sense of importance in the things that she has to say. It's like all the people made in Chelsea, yeah? Over the various lockdowns we've had, a lot of them went on to create podcasts, and the pitfalls of being on a reality TV show is after a while, I think you would just genuinely start to believe your own hype and believe that what you have to say about things has inherent worth and value to it because you're famous for being on a TV show. Some of them, begrudgingly I'll admit, are good. Like Jamie Lang and Sophie Habu's Newlyweds podcast. Bearing in mind, these are two people I do not like on Made in Chelsea. I don't like the way they present themselves or their personas. They are great at this podcast. I think the Made in Chelsea producers are like sleeping on Sophie Habu because she is so naturally funny. And it's like, where is this funny person on Made in Chelsea? Why are we getting this version of your persona and not this? Like, Jamie Lang, yeah, begrudgingly, I'll admit, he's very good at doing TV. He's got that charisma. He's very good at it. Fair play to him. Even if I think that his character on Made in Chelsea, I'm assuming by now it's a character, was a bit of a, knobhead. But some of the other people on Made in Chelsea have made podcasts, and I've tried to listen to a few of them. And Jamie Lang has this showmanship. Sophie Habu is funny. These other people, though, it's like you're clearly just being told by hundreds of people every single day that what you say is gold, because it's not interesting, a lot of what you're actually saying. I don't know how this pertains to Love Island at all. I think I just wanted to really rage about people in their podcasts. Like, my podcast ain't like very good, but at least I admit it. I don't think I have a lot of things that are of value of saying. I think I can say things in a funny way, but that's different from having value. Though maybe some people would add value to that because there is entertainment value in it. But I don't think I'm actually like smart or that interesting. That's why I'm not a vlogger. I don't think I'm that interesting. I'm not going to vlog. There's just a few specialist subjects of which I can take the piss out of. Oh yeah, that was my point. So maybe people who grow up with famous fathers, maybe they're used to some sort of media attention, even just by association. Maybe by osmosis from having that famous relative, especially a direct line like a parent, father or mother, or a primary caregiver. So maybe that's why Gemma thinks she's like a lot more interesting. Then also she just doesn't seem very nice. Like the way she talks with the guys, it feels like trying to talk to her is trying to pull teeth, pull nails. Then again, what was I like at 19? I was a bit of a twat. So Luca and Gemma start flirting, and it is drier than the out-of-date bread in my cupboard. Episode 5. All the guys keep repeating the same expressions. They keep saying that Davide looks like a Greek god. All of them, repeatedly, several times an episode. Guys, I don't want to alarm any of you or anything, but you sure you don't want to couple up with Davide? It's Bella Swan calling Rosalie Hale perfect all over again. Because Greek god, that's a pretty up there statement, innit? At this point, Gemma and Davide are still coupled up together, but Luca and Gemma go for a chat together. That was in the previous episode. And Davide and Luca both start getting so stressed out and have this talk about having a chat, and Davide's kind of like, oh, you trying to mug me off? And he's like, no, I wouldn't do that. And it was literally just a chat. It's the most dull thing. The way that not a lot actually goes on in this show at all. So a chat between Gemma and Luca is somehow turned into World War III is very impressive. But then maybe that's the social experiment aspect, isn't it? Remove people from normal society and the normal stresses of that society. You don't have to worry about rent or work or whatever for 2 months. You're in this confined space where it's beautiful, gorgeous location, but you're in this confined space with X amount of other people who are total strangers. You've got cameras following you all the time. Nothing really goes on apart from these challenges, which is more of just an excuse for them to all like touch each other up. It's like the precursor to a big orgy, these challenges. Put people into this space and just see what happens. I suppose if you're in that, and I don't know if they've got TVs or magazines, I don't know what they have, because in Big Brother they weren't allowed information from the outside world. So maybe something as simple as a little chat between two people would turn into this huge deal, because they're all bored, they've got nothing going on, but it's only day 5. And the amount of times in this episode this chat is mentioned, it's amazing how many times people can actually dissect one chat between two people but still repeat the same things. Liam has decided to leave. He's only been in there for 4 or 5 days. I forget which one. I don't know how I meant to care about this. Like, the music they used was so dramatic. It was like so sad, like a sad violin. Some of the boys get emotional about it. Luca gets emotional and he says he needs to be proud of everything he's done in here. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? You've been in this house for 4 days. What do you mean? He's not getting a Nobel Peace Prize. He's not like solved the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. What do you mean? Proud of what? He's just turned up, gone to a place and been like, actually, nah, not for me. See you later. Why am I not congratulated just for breathing? That is the real question. Gemma goes to Liam because she feels a bit guilty, so they have a chat, but then they start chatting as though they're lifelong friends, as though they've been on this island for like several months, lost at sea, not known each other for 4 days. Maybe it's like the internet. You know how a week on the internet feels like a year? Maybe a day in this house feels like 6 months. So Liam leaves and then blah, 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 some other things happen. And that night when they're having champagne, they toast Liam later, but they're kind of acting as though he's died. They say things like he's gone, but he's never going to be forgotten. Like, bro, what do you mean? They do a recoupling and all the guys make these speeches about the girls that they want to choose. Dami's speech was actually quite nice about Amber. So I was like, fair enough. But then I think it was Luca's speech about wanting to couple up with Gemma was basically like, yeah, she's a right sort, mate. It was like Joey Essex, but without the Joey Essex charm. And then Davide pairs up with Ekin Su. The end. That is my blow-by-blow review of 5 episodes of Love Island. There is 50 episodes and they're all like 57, 50, whatever. And they're all like 1 hour plus with adverts. That is mental. If you enjoyed me complaining about this show I was under zero obligation to watch in the first place, then please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If this gets a good response, then maybe I'll do the next 5 episodes. I would admit, last night when I was in bed trying to drift off, thinking about things to avoid thinking about death and eternity and having night terrors, I was thinking, I wonder what's going to happen on day 6. So I have been hooked in. My thirst for needless, pathetic drama. They have hooked me. A little bit. There's a little bit of a pull. So I get it, but I'm still going to act as though I'm above it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!